I've been playing Pokemon for over 20 years now, and in those years, I've come to love this franchise very much. Some would say I've completely sold my soul to it by now. Across these 9 generations, I've come to love and appreciate many Pokemon, whether it be by their design, personality, competitiveness, or usefulness in Nuzlocke. In this video, I'm going to be talking about my favorite Pokemon. This was hard to come to a conclusion for since there's hundreds to choose from, but I'm satisfied with the list I came up with. There are no legendaries or mythicals. That's for a different video for a different day. Before we start, if you could give this video a like, maybe hit that shiny red subscribe button as well. No pressure. So with that out of the way, here's my top 10 favorite Pokemon of all time. All the way back in Gen 1, Muk to me always seemed weird and out of place, like it shouldn't exist. Now as I've grown older and use it more in playthroughs, I've come to appreciate it a lot more. Especially Alolan Muk. I love this thing. Poison Dark typing is fantastic, and Poison Touch is such a great ability. This thing can take many hits and dish out damage as well. I also love its design being rainbow colored and having stone teeth letting it utilize biting moves. I use this thing in both my Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon playthroughs. I've used it many times in Pokemon Showdown, and it's a staple team member no matter the situation. Overall, Alolan Muk has definitely earned its place in the top 10, and I can't wait to use it in Gen 9 when Pokemon Home is compatible with Scarlet and Violet. Gen 3 is my favorite generation of Pokemon and my favorite region. My favorite starter for this gen is none other than Sceptile. I love dragons and reptiles, and Sceptile's sleek and cool design is amazing to me and was easily my first choice when I played Ruby for the first time. Sure, its move pool is a bit weird, but I have such fond memories playing with it, and its Mega Evolution is my favorite of the starters. Plus, who didn't love Ash's Sceptile taking out Darkrai? I'm hoping it will return eventually in Gen 9, but that's asking a lot. What else can I say? I love this mon. I never could seem to get one in Gen 3, 1 because I was a kid and had the attention span of a squirrel, and 2, it only appeared on 6 tiles on Route 119 with a 50% chance to appear on them. To say the least, it's a hassle to find, and most players probably never found it on their first playthroughs. That aside, I love the elegant design of Milotic, and in Burn On Play's Draft League, it was easily the MVP of my team with being an offensive tank with competitive and spreading accuracy drops everywhere with Muddy Water and brutal blizzards along with Alolan Ninetales. Without it, I wouldn't have made it into the Final 4. Let's go back a gen and talk about Crobat. I always thought Golbat was incomplete and needed another evolution. Crobat was perfect, and there's not much that outspeeds it even today. The only thing that's annoying is the friendship needed to get it. It doesn't take away the fact that Crobat was a key teammate in my Platinum and X Nuzlocke, especially creating Mega Gardevoir. Another great Gen 2 staple. Steelix has been one of my favorite mons ever since I laid eyes on it when I first faced Jasmine and getting crushed in the process. Steelix has an overall awesome design and a much deserved and needed evolution for Onix. It's also hilarious that all you have to do to get one in X and Y is trade a useless love disc. Most one-sided in-game trade to date in my opinion. Thank you Thumper the Steelix for being an MVP. Speaking of MVPs, in the number 5 slot is none other than Heracross. This is my absolutely favorite bug type all across gens. It may be the fact that you can get it relatively early on in both Gens 2 and the Gen 4 remakes. But I also love its simple yet cool design, and I definitely enjoy using one during my Heart Gold Nuzlocke, and was the only one I purposely eevee trained. RIP MVP the Heracross. You will always be missed.
Heracross is unable to battle!
It's Bulbasaur!
Ever since Gen 1, I've always loved the Bulbasaur line. I may have started with Charmander like almost half the normies, but in the end, I fell in love with Bulbasaur. Visually, I think Bulbasaur is the cutest and Venusaur is the coolest final form design in my opinion. Plus, if you want the best Nuzlocke chance in any Kanto run, nobody does it better than Venusaur. And I love the tankiness of its Mega Evolution. I know a certain streamer who will agree with me on all of this. As you can see, I love Gen 3, and Gardevoir is my favorite Pokemon from this gen. And no, it's not for what you think. Get your mind out of the gutter. During my first playthrough of Emerald when I was a kid, I was lucky enough to run into a Ralts as my first encounter. Sure, training it up was a pain, but it was all worth it as Gardevoir is a special attacking machine and has an absolutely huge move pool. It just doesn't take physical hits well. Which is why I name all female Ralts Lysithea, and I name all males Kuja. To me, the coolest cat Pokemon design with a great cry and the best ability in the game, at least for Nuzlocke. Luxray has had my heart ever since I ran into a Shinx who is, to me, the cutest cat design, though sprigatuo may be threatening this position. I've used it on my team on every single playthrough of my Platinum Nuzlocke, I believe, and playthroughs. Honestly, what else can be said? This Pokemon is just pure awesome. Let's be honest, we all knew this was coming. I mean, it's a channel mascot for Arceus' sake. Eevee, to me, is the all-time cutest Pokemon. How can it not be? Look at that face. Everything Eevee does is so damn adorable and irresistible. Even in the anime, Eevee has the cutest voice that represents it well. I've been in love with it ever since Red and Blue. I could never choose what to evolve it into and almost never want to. That's why I love the Let's Go Eevee partner. Its gimmick of having several evolutions to choose from is amazing, and my favorite is Sylveon. It is the only Pokemon to have its gimmick named after itself and canonized by the Pokemon Company themselves. If that doesn't convince you how awesome Eevee is, I don't know what will. Nothing will ever come close to Eevee in my opinion, and it doesn't matter how many times I run into Eevee or its evolutions in the wild, I will always catch them. It's an obsession I will never apologize for. Don't try to stop me. Well, that was my top 10 favorite Pokemon. As you can see, I'm a very old fan of the series. Like I said, I have many Pokemon that I like a lot, and I may make a top 10 for every type at some point. But this will do for now. What are your favorite Pokemon? Let me know in the comment section below. Special thanks to Bigger Bulbasaur for editing this video. His link will be in the description below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. See ya!